and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us once again for another episode of the Taboo Tater Tots Club,
where we talk about anything that interests us, whether it be political bullshit or just nonsense or just general buttfuckery.
Or women beaters.
Yes, so today, if you've been living under a rock, we're going to be talking about P. Diddy and his ex-girlfriend, good on you for leaving, by the way, from 2016. And the surveillance video that has recently been released at the time of recording, recently. And I have only seen the first 30 seconds or so of it. Have you seen anything?
No, I haven't. But we're not going to actually show the video of her getting beat for obvious reasons. But we're going to be watching the video where he apologizes for that, which I've heard is pretty bad because I just did a really quick Google search and even 50 Cent is like making fun of him.
Really?
Yeah.
I do know that the video of her getting beat was, again, from a surveillance camera.
Mm-hmm.
So the video quality is pretty shit to begin with.
Yeah.
Speaking of video quality, so we did some messing around with our setup. We're in a completely new room now in my house. It's bigger, it's more spacious, and it's got more room for activities.
Yeah, activities.
So, non-sexual activities. Don't get too excited.
Well, obviously, you're not my type.
You mean long, blonde, and handsome?
No, I mean short, pimply, and ginger.
Damn right I am.
So, we actually did an episode in this room last week, but that is going to be on the Patreon. What we did was react to the A-Team from 2010.
Fucking love that movie, by the way. You should check it out. It's going to be on Patreon if it's not already by the time this is up.
Yes. What we did was we recorded our reactions to the whole entire movie. We paused in a couple of places and set the timestamps and everything, and it's going to be our best reactions boiled down. It's not for the full length of the movie. Also, it's the extended cut with 16 extra minutes of content,
which was very exciting for me because there were parts that I hadn't seen or like clips that I hadn't seen, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is new!"
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun editing that together. Honestly, it's gonna be very jumpy, but it was still a shit ton of fun to do.
Yeah, I know you don't know what I'm going to be talking about, but if you know who EFAP is on YouTube, they do like little movie highlights.
Oh, I know who EFAP is.
You've listened to that podcast before?
No.
Oh. Okay. It stands for every frame of pause. It does not mean electronic masturbation. Anyway, they do these little movie review commentary highlight videos, and that's kind of what my plan was for that. And hopefully next time we'll be able to actually have like some sort of visual on screen besides just the Tater Tots picture. I do want like actual either just still images or like
I could have done that if you would ask.
I didn't think about it until just recently. Or the actual movie playing, but just really dimmed and have like an overlay over it, just so we don't get dinged for copyright. But anyway, that commentary, which it lasts about a little over an hour, I think it was.
I edited it down to, I think it was under an hour.
Something like that. But
it
that's
was like
gonna be
40 minutes, I think.
That's going to be over on the Patreon. That's going to be our very first like little perk for our $5 tier.
A side note about the Patreon and secret videos, I guess. After some talking, Nick and I, we agreed that we will not be releasing that blooper episode.
The deleted episode, yes.
It's gone. It's nowhere to be found now.
Yeah, it's we decided that we both got a little bit too edgy, a little bit too let's just say that we don't want the feds knocking on our door or local police or anything like that. So
yeah, because that's gonna be a mess and a half. So it's in our best interest to be like, hey, let's just not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I had to think about it for a while because I thought it was fine for a bit, and I'm like, you know what? After some thinking, maybe not.
I was not okay with it from day one.
I see.
From the moment of hitting record, honestly.
But another thing with the Patreon, so I'm an idiot. The email that I signed up with that for, I lost the password for. Couldn't figure out what it was, and I didn't tie any other backup emails or my phone number or anything like that to it, so that's fucked. But I will be going back through every episode into the description and putting the new Patreon link in there, which I think the only difference is like the word pod for podcast and like a couple of numbers, so that shouldn't be too bad. But yes, new Patreon, different page, same tiers, and hopefully by the time this it will be out by the time this episode comes out, which will be in like a week and a half, so plenty of time.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the whole video quality thing.
Yeah.
So we did some messing around with the settings in a software called Streamlabs. It's a version of OBS, Open Broadcast Software, or source, whatever you want to call it.
I hate when you kick the table.
I'm not kicking the table.
You're moving it.
Well, yeah, because squirrel. Oh, shut up.
Anyway. It's okay. It'll be better when the mic arms get here, hopefully, within the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, stop distracting me. We gotta get this out here.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so we went through and we edited some settings. Normally we record with a PNG. It's a PNG, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
I'm just gonna say it's a PNG for simplicity's
Okay.
sake. We record with a PNG overlay of our channel art, and that's just, and then we just talk over it. During one of our recent attempts at producing new and unique content, new and unique-ish content, Nicholas here noticed that the video that we captured was not a video, to say the least.
It was like 5 still frames.
Yeah, so we went through, we had edited some of those settings. We
got a better browser.
Yeah, we got a better browser. We tested it fucking rigorously for, what was it, like an hour and 40-ish minutes?
Something like that. The gist of it is...
It may not look the best compared to other channels, but...
It might not be 4K, and it might not be 60 frames per second.
Oh, no, it's 15 frames a second.
Okay, well, most... movies? Is it TV? I think it's most TV shows run at about between 15 and 20 frames per second, so it'll be fine.
Depending on the type of show, yes.
Yeah.
It's 15 to 20. But there are shows out there, and obviously movies that record or film in 4K or even 8K now, which is fucking mind-blowing to me. Because, like, I used to work on a TV show. I know I've told you this. I've told you about this a little bit.
Yeah.
I filmed in 4K, and that was the top of the line, top gear cameras and equipment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And now those are practically obsolete. It's like...
They're becoming obsolete right now, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, that's a mindfuck, you know?
You know what I heard?
What?
That right now they're coming out with, that like they want to release it within the next month, 8K texture packs for Minecraft.
What the fuck?
Why the fuck would anybody need an 8K texture pack for Minecraft?
Okay, to be fair, I want it just to be able to see it. And
Just to say that you have a machine that can handle it, yeah.
Yeah, and to be able to say I have it.
But
you
other
know?
than that, why the fuck would you need something that like that?
Like, just bragging rights, really, I guess.
Just like nobody needs a fucking Rolls Royce, but they would be cool to have one.
That's a car, right?
Yes.
You would think that I would know that, since considering I worked on a TV show about cars.
Yeah. Well, did you just work on domestic cars, or was it like you have some kind of...
We had a Porsche at one point, but that's... I mean, and we filmed some Ferraris and Lamborghinis, but that was all...
Well, those are more common.
Yeah.
I was gonna say stuff like Rolls Royce and like Lotus and other kinds of
But
stuff.
generally speaking, we worked with Mustangs, Chevrolets, Chevelles,
You mean Chevrolets?
Raviolis.
Yes. Chevrolets.
And I'm not a car guy, believe it or not. I don't fucking care about... Well, I mean, they were cool cars. They were nice. They were fun to sit in.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as my interest goes. You know. But we recorded pickups and Mustangs. I accidentally just referenced Jason Aldean.
Who?
Jason Aldean, a country singer.
Oh.
If you know, you know. And that wasn't even fucking planned. That's the crazy part. And I'm purposely avoiding saying the name of this show because the, quote, producer, as he likes to be called, I call him Dickhead, among many, many other things.
Mm-hmm.
He's a piece of fucking shit. And he doesn't deserve any kind of fucking publicity. Especially because he stole the work that I did for him, mind you.
Very
and
cool.
claimed it as his own.
Very cool.
This was supposed to be my, quote, father.
Oh.
Who the fuck does that to their own son?
I mean...
Besides a narcissist, who?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I will not release that channel. There is a YouTube channel, yes. I will not be releasing the name of it. Because he doesn't deserve the publicity. He doesn't deserve... The only thing he fucking deserves is fucking cancer. Of the dick. Or something. Too edgy?
No, I was listening. I thought I heard somebody walking through the door, but I think it was just the dogs.
So, anyways... How did I get on that tangent?
Honestly,
video quality.
Yes, video quality.
So it may not be the nicest that you've seen.
But it's definitely better than the other episode we tried to do video on.
Yeah, so, and really, it's probably the best we're going to be able to get with the off-the-shelf laptop.
Yeah, bare bones laptop. Well, I wasn't the barest of bones laptop. I could have gotten one for $125, but this is only a $200 laptop, which is, it's not super high end, but it's not super low end. It's just kind of meh.
So as of right now, that's going to be the best we're going to be able to do. I apologize for that. It kills me to say that, but
I mean, hey, we don't have a super large audience right now. We only have 4 subscribers, but I think we have a total of 70 views with only 12 episodes uploaded right now, which isn't too shabby.
No, not at all.
And we've only been doing this for a little over a month. I think like maybe a month and a half.
Yeah. But also, I do know that one video was 30 views. Our first one was 30-something views. And then one of the other ones was close to 30 as well. It might be exactly 30 now. So
it might be a little bit over 70 views now then.
Just pull up the analytics.
Yeah, I could do that. Give me just a second here.
So, yeah, that was a little bit about me and how I got fucked over. Anyways, back to the whole P. Diddy situation. There are allegations against him for sex trafficking. I know nothing about that. I have not looked into it at all. I really haven't fucking cared to. But this apology video is getting a whole lot of attention. So we would be fucking retarded as hell to not jump on the bandwagon and give our thoughts on black people.
Yeah. So I'm gonna switch this scene over. We got Mr. Pitts on the screen. Turn on the desktop audio.
I just want to say he looks like an armpit.
He looks like a man who just I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know. Fucking let's just watch the video, shall we?
He looks like a dude who looks like an armpit, and he's very depressed about it because he knows.
Fucking dude. Anyway, we're gonna play this now.
Disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs apologizing in a new video. This after the release of that surveillance video of him
like I said, it's the best that we could probably get.
We want to warn you, this video is disturbing. Here's ABC's Matt Rivers.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Behave, y'all.
Oh, come on.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted.
You should be.
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
Sean Diddy Combs posting on Instagram responding for the first time since that disturbing video. Combs seen assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, throwing her to the ground in a hotel elevator bank.
He's in a
and then
fucking
kicking
towel!
He then tries to drag her away.
Wait, that was
I'm not asking
Diddy?
for forgiveness.
I have seen that video. I thought it was.
I'm truly sorry.
The I'll Be Missing You singer never asking to be forgiven in the 1 minute and 11-second video. Diddy says it was the darkest time in his life.
I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
In support of abuse survivors, Ventura's husband also posting on Instagram saying, "Men who hit women aren't men. Hold the women in your life with the utmost regard. To all the survivors, your stories are real and people believe you." Ventura's lawyers also weighing in, providing a statement to ABC News saying, when Cassie and multiple other women came forward, he denied everything and suggested that his victims were looking for a payday, that he was only compelled to apologize once his repeated denials were proven false shows his pathetic desperation, and no one will be swayed by his disingenuous words. Combs can't be prosecuted for the violence in the video originally obtained by CNN because it is past California's statute of limitations.
Damn.
The incident appears to support
What?
Ventura's claims, long denied by Combs, from a now settled lawsuit filed last November, stating, around March 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles, Mr. Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye. Adding that when she tried to leave the hotel room, Combs followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. He grabbed at her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her, causing glass to crash around them as she ran to the elevator to escape.
Holy shit.
It comes nearly 2 months after federal authorities raided Combs' LA and Miami homes, seizing computers and electronics equipment. Agents from Homeland Security in fatigues and body armor seen entering his home in the wealthy LA enclave of Holmby Hills. Sources telling ABC News Combs is the subject of an ongoing federal investigation out of the Southern District of New York into human trafficking. The entertainment mogul facing other civil lawsuits, including several allegations of sexual misconduct, all of which Combs denies.
Yeah, sure. He's a monster. Like, fucking...
I knew it as soon as it showed
Oh,
the
my
fucking...
God.
I knew he was a monster as soon as it showed the first frame of him.
Yeah, he... Wow! Okay, let's, really quick, I'm gonna pull up on my phone,
Make sure to swap scenes again.
Oh, yeah. Let's take this asshole off the screen.
That's the problem with media nowadays, is there is just no thing as fucking bad publicity now. Any publicity is good publicity if you're black. Supposedly.
So...
Did I do a racism?
I totally spaced what you just said.
Any publicity is good publicity.
I mean, for these assholes,
especially
it doesn't really
when
matter.
you're black.
When you're black and famous, yeah.
I want to take a shit on his face.
50 Cent on his Instagram. He said, "This is not going to work. Who is advising him right now? Shake my head, bad move."
I don't know who 50 Cent is, other than the whole... Your mama went to go see 50 Cent, but it was Nickelback or something like that.
He's just another rapper, dude. He used to roll around with Snoop Dogg, I believe, and he got shot twice, and he survived. I think he got like shot in the chest, like nowhere near anything vital, but he did get shot in the head. I'm pretty sure that's 50 Cent, yeah, and he survived.
He should be dead.
Yeah, he should.
Props to that dude, though.
Yeah.
He has fucking business on this earth still.
Yep. So, yeah, I just have a couple things to say about this.
As do I. Starting
One,
with behavior.
Inexcusable behavior. I do not subscribe to the "if you hit women, you're not a man," because there are extreme circumstances where hitting a woman is excusable.
Like if she has a gun or a knife or something like that. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You best bet I'm gonna be beating that bitch down.
Yeah, I have my story with violence against women. My ex-wife. Of course, not going to name names or anything, give anything identifiable, but
I will. She's a cunt.
Yeah, she laid her hands on me more than once. I think it was 4 times exactly, and then the 5th time she hit me, I finally hit her back. So,
and then let me guess, you got arrested.
No, actually, but
really.
No, yeah, because the cops weren't called, because she, for all of her faults, she was like, yeah, no, I deserved that. I'm not going to call the cops, because, she hit me first. Which, I think the only reason why I actually hit her back, because it's not because I'm a pussy, not because I don't want to fight back. It's because she was actually doing damage to me. Because the first couple times, she only hit me once, or, smacked me, or whatever. But this time, she actually, started just fucking wailing on me. She got on top of me and started wailing on me. And so I,
So, she, just to clarify, she got on top of you, but not in a good way.
No, not in a good way.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that for the subscribers here.
Yeah, I think she hit me, 2 or 3 times until my brain finally caught up, and I was like, oh, she's not stopping. And so, I didn't even really hit her. But I grabbed I used my thumb, I shoved it up her nose as hard as I fucking could, which I'm surprised I didn't break her nose. And then I chopped her in the throat, and she kind of fell back. But
my man, you got some Navy SEAL background or some shit.
Well, it's just the angle at where I was. I was on a couch, and she was just on top of me, wailing on me. So I'm like, if I try hitting her in the face, she's either gonna block it or it's gonna do no good. So I slipped underneath her arms and just jammed my thumb up her nose, and which made her recoil, of course, and that...
Did she bleed? Just out of curiosity?
I don't think she did.
The monthly...
No.
You know.
No, I don't think she did. And that just gave me an open spot to chop her in the throat, because I didn't want to actually hit her. You know, I still loved her. And that's where I should have been, should have drawn the line, but actually there was another violent incident after that where, admittedly, I was drunk, but she hit me first. And,
So, the whole Navy SEAL badassery scene, what set her off then? Or was it just because you exist?
I think... I'm not going to say that it was all her fault. I did get a rise out of her. I don't know specifically what it was to get her to be violent that specific time, but usually it was just, except for one specific time, which I don't want to talk about that, but usually it was just us getting into little petty fights and then me kind of making fun of her. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna fess up to what I did. I was usually like, oh, you're not even your family likes you, or like, oh, the only reason why anybody puts up with you is because you're pretty, or stuff like that. Just really, really shitty comments. But
were they true?
I believe most of them probably were. But because she always had really bad anger issues anyway, so I knew I shouldn't have she always started it, but I shouldn't have went along with it. I should have tried to de-escalate, and I never did. I always made it worse.
Because it goes back to primal instincts. Somebody's threatening the man here. Mm-hmm. In this case, it's, and I hate to say it, an inferior being, a woman. Obviously, that's not how it is in today's society, but back then, that's how it starts. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And
in I would say inferior in like physical strength and in specific areas. Yes,
I'm talking historically accurateness.
Okay.
I am not trying to be sexist by any means, in any way, shape, and or form.
Okay.
Except for when I tell people to go get back in the kitchen.
You're funny.
I try. So it reverts back to that instinct where somebody's threatening you, and whatever the fucking reason is, at the end of the day, the man has to be the big one and
big macho being
punch, yeah.
People would call that toxic masculinity today.
I would call it historically accurate. Now, I'm not going to say that, being the first to be physical and then ask questions later is the right way to go about things. I'm not going to say that because it's not. But I have yet to encounter a problem that a shotgun can't solve.
Well,
tell me I'm wrong.
Let's not get into that.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong, but
you fucking got a flat tire? Carjack someone.
Okay.
This is not legal advice.
Okay. Let's get off of this. My point for bringing that up is, there is times where you can hit a woman. Obviously, very, very rare and far in between. Are there times where you should hit a woman?
A more common one would probably be a gun or a knife or some type of weapon.
Yeah, but I'm just bringing that up because there's a stigma nowadays that, women can't be abusive to men when, yes, the fuck they can.
I will admit that before I met you, I was not necessarily part of that stigma, but I was kind of on the fence of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I knew, but it never fucking gets talked about.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
I'm supportive no matter what, but I was still always on that fence kind of mentally.
Yeah.
Just because it's like the social norm.
Yeah. It happens way more that men are physically abusive to women. I agree, but it doesn't change the fact that it does.
It
happen
still
the opposite
happens,
way.
yeah.
But obviously, in this sense, it looked like, and I could be wrong, but from the footage that we just saw, it looked like Diddy literally just ran out of whatever hotel room or shower or whatever he was in, and literally just like clotheslined the bitch.
Which is ironic because he didn't have any fucking clothes. So would it be just a line?
Maybe he had a towel. It's fine. But yeah, I don't see, and especially where they said that he was drunk and he admitted that he started it. There's no excuse for that whatsoever.
And there's no fucking need in that situation to be throwing fucking faces and shit.
Yeah, and especially with how the one hit took her down, and he still kicked her and threw shit at her, and
yeah, like
that's not defending yourself. That's not she said something bad that she knows not to say, so I'm gonna hit her. That's just I want to do damage to this woman.
Yeah, I don't use the term brutal often.
Yeah,
but that was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other fucking way to put it. That was just fucking brutal.
Like, slapping your girlfriend, that's bad. Definitely. But that was fucking... He wanted to hurt her real bad.
Yeah, and I'm gonna add a... amendment, I guess.
Okay.
To your statement.
Okay.
Unless you're in the bedroom, smacking bad.
Well, yeah, of course, if your partner's into that in moderation, you know.
Yeah, but like if there's true anger and
that's the kind of shit that, you know, the old saying that a drunk mind speaks a sober heart. Like, just from that little bit of footage, you can tell that he has malice and anger in his heart. Like, he's just an angry person.
Specifically towards women.
And
you could tell that he didn't mean any of the fucking shit that he was saying.
No, of course not. He just wanted to be like, please keep buying my records and giving me money. Thank you.
Yeah, he was very stone-faced. I wouldn't be surprised if he had been drinking or something already.
Yeah.
Before that, you know. And did you notice how he was, like, sitting out near the pool?
Yeah.
Like, how fucking douchey can you get?
I bet you this is exactly how it went. He had his feet up on a lawn chair or something like that, drinking margarita or something with a bunch of friends. And then his lawyer fucking calls him and is like, hey, Diddy, so you know how you're already in deep shit? Yeah, the video of you hitting your girlfriend in 2016 just surfaced online. You should probably say sorry for that. And he's like, all right, cool, gotcha. Stands up. Leans over his lawn table or whatever that he just had his feet on, and immediately, not even 10 minutes later, turns on his phone and be like, okay, got this. Okay, ready?
Me.
I bet you that's exactly how it happened.
For fucking real. Like, except for there's one thing that you left or that you got wrong.
Okay.
He wasn't hanging out with anybody. Because to hang out with someone, you gotta have friends.
Oh, he's rich and famous. I'm sure he has at least hookers around him all the time.
Yeah, that he beats the shit out of, sure. Probably drowns in that nice-ass pool of his, too.
Oh, I don't think he murders them, but I'm sure he wants to sometimes.
I want to put the fucking brutality that we saw is not far from...
Okay, he might have one or two literal skeletons in his closet, maybe. Allegedly.
Yeah, in Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
It's funny because the skeletons are actually in Minecraft.
Yeah.
But, like, the brutality that we just witnessed in that video really just does not...
It was...
Like, that is literally one step away from homicidal rage.
Yeah.
And really, all it takes is a sledgehammer to fucking break down that fucking barrier and break out the homicidal rage.
Oh, yeah, I bet you if he... Because I'm sure a famous rich rapper like that, I'm sure he keeps a piece on him at all time. But I bet you if it was any other day other than...
Except for when he has a towel on him.
That's what I was getting at. I bet you any other day, at any other time, where he didn't just step out of the shower, he would have had a gun. And I bet you in that moment, he probably would have used it.
Does he have a criminal record? I wonder. Because that would be interesting. Because if he's in possession of firearms and he's a felon, that's a no-no. Yeah.
Criminal record. It depends on what kind of rap sheet he has.
If it's any kind of felony, you can't own a firearm.
Oh yeah, it says Combs has a number of legal issues in the past, but has rarely faced criminal charges. But in '99, he pleaded guilty to assaulting a record executive and was ordered to 1 day, a single day of anger management. Holy shit!
What the fuck would a single day do?
I don't know.
It took me years to learn to manage my anger.
It says that same year, Combs was accused of criminal possession of a weapon after shooting at a nightclub. So it just says accused. It doesn't say he was actually charged for that. So according to that, he's probably fine with having guns.
Yeah, I guess, but fucking bloody hell.
Yeah. Bloody hell, innit?
You want to have some tea time? Anyways.
Yeah.
But, like, he has a history of violent behavior. The fact that no one saw this coming from 1999.
I mean, I'm sure people saw it coming, but he's rich and famous and nobody's gonna do shit.
I will. Give me a shotgun.
Yeah,
Again, there isn't a problem a shotgun can't solve.
I'm sure he's hiding somewhere out here in Idaho.
Do you think so?
No.
Oh. I'm sad. I wanted to go on a homicide spree. And I can say that because I don't beat up women.
Okay.
I know how to control my rage, you fucker.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Milk.
Milk.
Anyways, so you have a heart issue.
Oh, I do. Multiple, actually.
Seriously, multiple.
Yes.
I only knew, well, I honestly didn't even know of the one. I just knew you had issues with your heart. I didn't know, like, the specifics of it.
So, yeah, if you want to talk about that for a little bit, because we're only at half an hour.
I knew it wasn't going to be a very long segment. So.
Yeah. So, so the actual medical terms for the things that's wrong with me.
Besides insanity?
Not insanity, just mid-sanity.
Outside sanity?
Sure.
Outsanity.
I have an enlarged heart, which isn't that difficult to comprehend. I have ventricular myopathy, meaning that my heart skips a beat. Or is that bigeminy? Ventricular bigeminy is where my heart skips a beat. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the enlarged heart. And I'll explain that in a minute.
Okay, wait. I already have a question, though.
Okay.
So, when you met your wife, your current wife, obviously, did your heart skip 2 beats, or is that, like, not a thing you can experience at all, or, like, how does that work?
So let me continue explaining, and hopefully that will clear things up. Because
okay.
I'm pretty sure the myopathy is when it only does it part-time. And then I have a mild congestive heart failure. So the reason why it beats fast is because it is enlarged. And the working theory behind why it's enlarged is because my dad was a dick. Everything comes back to that. got sick one time, and he's like, "Oh, it'll clear up by itself." And lo and behold, it wasn't just a cold; it was strep throat, and that is a virus. And they think the virus migrated to my heart and just kind of festered there until it finally died. Because my cough didn't go away within a week like it normally probably would have. I had it for about 3 or 4 months. Yeah. And so the issue that I have in reality is that sometimes, first of all, I can't lift heavy things. My cardiologist has told me specifically that I'm not supposed to lift anything, that I'm only supposed to do light cardio workouts, like light jogging or like yoga or stuff like that, which when I do go to the gym, which I'm trying to go to the gym again,
can't imagine you doing yoga.
No.
That is an image I do not want to imagine, mind you.
No, I try to use the treadmill at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Now that I could believe.
Yeah.
You fat fuck.
Thank you.
It's okay, we're both fat fucks.
The reason why is because it will get my heart rate up. It's not that it'll get my heart rate, that's healthy. But the quickness of how fast my heart goes from 0 to 60, how quick that jump happens.
So is it a possibility that your heart will not be big anymore? Is that like the end goal, or are you stuck with it?
It kind of depends. Okay, so
it
will never go back to normal, but it will get better. They said that that the heart. They say the heart is elastic. It can grow and shrink, depending on a various number of factors. But so when they first found out the baseline for a normal heart, it's supposed to eject out of the valves a certain amount of blood, and I believe it's 65% of the total volume of blood in the heart is supposed to be pumped out every time it beats, right? I don't know if that's the exact number, but let's roll with that.
Hey, I'm not a doctor. I can't fucking correct you. I mean, I could, but I'd be seriously wrong more than likely.
When they figured out what was going on with my heart, it's called ejection fraction. And
what's your function?
My ejection fraction was, I think, at like 30, 32, 30%, a low 30, which is bad, but it's not horrible.
It's like on that line, right?
Yeah, 24% or 22%, somewhere around there, mid-20s, is where they start thinking like, okay, your heart's failing, so we need to get you on the donor list. And I was just above that percentage. Last time...
Does that percentage like fail or fall or grow, or is it?
It can, yes.
Or is it just a set, your entire life?
It can grow.
Fluctuate.
Fluctuate. Yes, it can fluctuate. So
does yours fluctuate?
Yes, because they put me on a bunch of pills and they told me, you need to do something. You need to move. You need to do something, some kind of exercise. Which ever since then I have, like I said, I try to do the treadmill at least 2 or 3 times a week. Also, my eating habits have gotten a lot better, because at the time I believe I was eating a frozen pizza for every other meal.
And I was like, that's still better than me.
And I was like somewhere around 400 pounds. And right now I'm actually at the lightest I've been since I was a kid, of course. Which I think
you came out of the womb weighing 800.
Yeah. Which right now I believe last time I checked was like 240 some, 230 some.
Wow, you're almost average.
Almost, yeah.
For your age, yeah.
Yeah. Which my biggest problem is just my gut and my tits.
Your moves.
Yeah.
Like your mitts.
My mitts. Not to toot my own horn, but my legs are pretty fucking toned. But my arms, they're not fat. They're just kind of floppy, like old man arms. But anyway, the last time I saw my cardiologist, which was about 3 years ago, which I should probably schedule to see him again here soon. My ejection fraction was at like 45%, which nowhere near normal, but definitely better than it was like 9 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
When they first 9 or 10 years ago when they first found it.
What is your prognosis, I guess?
Prognosis.
Yeah. Like your quality of life, I guess. Like,
Oh.
Are you considered healthy? Healthy-ish?
No.
Or, bitch, you go fucking die.
No, I'm basically, because I tried to get my disability, and I got it appealed, and eventually we got it all the way up to Boise, which, the state level is where they decide your disability. And they said that I am disabled enough to have more than half of the jobs in my area unavailable to me, but that's not disabled enough to actually get my disability, which is fucking bullshit. But I guess it's fine. I toughed it out for the most part. I've survived, so that's fine. Thank God. But so I guess you could call my quality of life in the mid-range, I suppose. Which there's not a whole lot that I can't do. Of course, I was never able to get into wrestling or football in high school because of this, but and there's definitely a lot of jobs that I absolutely cannot do, or else I will die. I tried getting into this because my friend of mine is a welder, and I was like, oh, I could probably do that. And an actual fabrication job I absolutely cannot do because you're lifting and carrying and transporting slabs of whatever material upwards of 50 pounds like pretty much all the time. So I cannot do that. And you saw me the other day when we were switching rooms. I was having trouble carrying 2 chairs.
Yeah. I was legitimately ready to call 911.
Oh, no. No, I would be fine.
Or at the bare minimum, 912.
If I were to carry the 2 chairs, I would have, across a flat surface, I would have a tiny bit of trouble. But because I was upstairs and then going downstairs again, that's what caused me most of the trouble. Not
like long-lasting trouble, right?
Yeah, no. And then the other side of that coin of my issues is that, the one side is I can't lift heavy stuff or do extraneous activities. The other side of that is...
you have a parking place?
Well, that's an upside, I suppose. I mean, I would much rather be able to lift heavy objects than be able to park close to a grocery store. But anyway, the other side of that is that sometimes my heart will go into bigeminy, and that means it'll skip a beat. And the reason why it skips a beat is because the heart fills up with, normal person, the CO2 rich blood exits the heart and goes back to the lungs to be exhaled, and then the blood gets filled with oxygen. That's your inhale, and that goes back down and into the heart, and as soon as the heart pumps, that's where your CO2 gets made, because it gets pulled apart or something like that. That's kind of the technical thing for it. But sometimes with my heart, since it only pumps so little, it doesn't expel all of that CO2 like it should. So it actually gets backed up with CO2 sometimes.
So what you're saying is you become high as a motherfucker.
No. CO2 does not get you high. It's...
Oh, I'm thinking of helium. Never mind.
That it kills you. Well, they both kill you, but, helium is the fun way to die. But no, it's like I've had issues before where when we first figured out what was going on and I didn't know how to control my breathing and didn't know how to control my anxiety and stuff like that, I was going to the hospital like once every like 2 or 3 months, right, for anxiety attacks. That's kind of how I describe them. That's not what it is, but that's what the symptoms present themselves like. And you don't know how many times I've gone to the hospital and be like, it's like an anxiety attack, but it's not. It's my heart. And then they give me anxiety medications. And then an hour later, like, how are you feeling? I'm like, not very good, because I told you this isn't what's fucking happening, but you just gave me anxiety meds and thought it would be cool, but it's not cool because it's not fucking anxiety! You don't know how many times I've had to go through that.
Oh, I've been there, trust me. I have been there.
But these anxiety attacks or panic attacks, they can be caused by overexerting myself or carrying lots of weight or whatever. But sometimes it's because the way that my cardiologist explained it is that the mental and the physical are not separate. So whatever happens in the brain happens in the body. So I can just work myself up into a tizzy if shit's going on. I remember that one time I was actually sitting over there in the corner desk and just kind of freaking out, and I was like, what do I do? Oh my god, the money, the whatever, oh my god.
And then
you're like, shut the fuck up.
Calm the fuck down. We sat down and we talked about it. We worked it out.
Yeah.
And I believe that was the beginning of the concept for this podcast.
Yes it was. It's not only is this podcast an outlet for my anxiety sometimes, which it's yours too, but also a future prospect for income, hopefully.
Maybe, yeah. By the way, speaking of income, so obviously I've been wearing the shirts, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And for
the
those
shirts with our nuclear bomb logo.
Taste my nuke, bitch!
Which we haven't been saying that in recent episodes.
I have been.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
In a few of them at least.
Okay. Anyways,
there has been a very receptive reception.
Very good reception, yes.
Yeah, positive. A very positive
yes.
reception
yes.
towards these. Mm-hmm. So, maybe soon we might be doing a run.
That would be pretty cool. Be like, we can sell you these shirts for however much, but are you subscribed to the podcast? Can you prove it? If you subscribe right now to the podcast, or subscribe on YouTube, we can give you a little bit of a discount. But if not, it's going to be $75.
Yeah, because they are not cheap to make, just one by one.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't be selling them for $75, but I think they cost us $50 for two of them.
For the two, yeah.
So,
but I think it would be cheaper if we did it in bulk.
Probably. So I think a good...
And we could go through that one place.
Yeah.
With that one guy.
Yeah. But
in that one town.
Yeah. But if
on that one road.
Yes.
On that one building. In that one room. With that one floor. I'm funny.
Are you done?
I don't think so. Okay, I'm good.
Which, if we only do a couple of shirts for just a couple of people who want them, then we could probably sell them at like 30-ish, maybe 35 a pop. That'll give us a nice little profit.
Yeah. But honestly, I just enjoy making content. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's fun. Some days I'm like, I don't feel it. Which today I wasn't really feeling it. But once we got into the groove of things, I'm good.
You came alive.
I came alive.
So, on our little whiteboard here, you put tales from middle and or high school.
Yep.
do share.
Okay. Just right off the top of my head, jeez. Did I mentioned me beating up a midget earlier, didn't I? Or one of these episodes, didn't I?
Earlier, yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't while we were recording, I don't think.
Was it not?
Might have been. It might have been during the whole technology ensemble.
Oh, maybe it was. But if you haven't heard...
No, it was actually when we were out there.
I feel like that was this very episode.
No, it was earlier. It was earlier today when you first got here.
Okay. Oh, yeah. With you and S.
Yeah, and you were just like, I saw a judge.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
He was like, aren't you the one that punched a midget?
That's right.
And
but I feel like I also have mentioned it on the podcast.
No,
before.
you have not.
Well,
because that was the first time I had even heard of it.
Okay. Well, I can tell that story.
But now I love the idea of you just punching a midget and throwing him like a football.
So he's not an actual midget. I think he is just a short dude who didn't get his growth spurt until later in life. Because I believe this was probably about 7th grade. So in middle school. In 6th grade, of course, I met this dude. Let's just call him Jason.
Robert.
Well, I want to do the same first letter of his name. Not actually say his name, but first letter is J. Let's call him Jason. So I met Jason in 6th grade when I moved over to middle school. And he has a house on the way to school. I lived about half a mile away from school, so most of the time I did walk. And since Jason's house was on the way, I usually walked with him from his house to the rest of the way to school. So we were pretty friendly for a while, but this was probably about the heaviest I ever was in around 7th and 8th grade, beginning of high school, around there, where I was around like 380 to 400, somewhere around there. And he's just, we were always friendly, but he would always say stuff like, what's up, fatty? What's going on, fat ass? What's up, man? What's up, bigger? He actually called me a bigger one time.
I gotta admit, that's pretty fucking clever.
Which at first, whatever, I didn't mind.
Like, I'm sorry because it was directed towards you in a mean fashion, but that is pretty fucking clever. You gotta hand it to him.
Right. But, he just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And at first I didn't mind, but it just kind of wore on me. And then I finally told him, like, hey, could you not call me that? I don't really like that. And he didn't care. He kept on doing it and doing it and doing it. And at this time, my dad was estranged from us. I think I don't remember if that was the time he was living with my uncles or if he went to jail. Either way, Dad wasn't in the picture at the time. And we were actually living with my grandparents for a little bit. So, and I've told stories about my grandpa. He's a cool dude.
Truly he is. I would love to shake his hand someday.
I asked him, like, hey, were you ever, like, bullied in school? And he was like, oh, yeah, I was a dark-skinned Hispanic dude, and the lighter-skinned Hispanic kids didn't like me, and especially the white kids didn't like me, especially. And he was always really short, so he was always being picked on for being dark-skinned and short. And
I pick on my mom for being shorter than me, but I've been taller than her since I was 13.
Nice.
So it's kind of a rite of passage.
Yeah, I think my grandpa's about as tall as you.
Really?
Maybe an inch or two taller, but
hey, an inch or two, that's all that matters.
But the point is, he got to the point where he didn't give a shit, and he started beating up his bullies, and he became the bully, basically. But he's like, just things are different these days, and you can actually go to jail. Just next time he says something like, hey, threaten him like, hey, don't call me that anymore, or else things are going to get ugly. And if he continues to do it, then, do something about it. I'm like, okay, cool. And
I bet he regretted saying that.
oh yeah, not because of what he said, but how I interpreted it. Because I'm an autistic little shit, and I don't understand.
Undiagnosed autistic little shit.
Yes, undiagnosed, of course.
I have to throw that out there.
But I'm not going to. Whatever people tell me, or at least it's gotten better. But when
you're very literal.
Yes, I'm very literal. If you don't tell me word for word exactly what you want me to do, I'm gonna do what you tell me to do.
Yeah.
So what he told me and what I interpreted were two different things. I was like, oh, so next time he says something, pummel his shit into the ground. Gotcha. and literally the next fucking day, I walk to school and I catch up with Jason and we're walking and talking and he's like, I don't remember specifically what he said, but he's all like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to run the mile today. I remember that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. And it's like, yeah, I know fat asses like you can't do miles, can they? Something like that. And I was like, look, I've asked you like 5 or 6 different times to stop calling me fat ass and stuff like that. I'd appreciate it if you stop. And he's like, I'm not gonna stop because it's funny. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna beat you up then. I literally told him I'm gonna beat you up the next time you tell me that. And he's like, oh, like you can fucking catch me. And I'm like, you want to fucking bet? And he just looked at me. He's like, fat ass, fat ass, fat ass, fat ass. And I literally charged after him. I was gonna tackle him to the ground and start wailing on him, but he ran. And we were keeping at a steady pace. Like I wasn't catching up and he wasn't getting further. So I'm like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And so I do like a little baseball slide underneath his legs and kick out his legs.
Yeah.
And he falls to the ground. And this was on school property. This was right before the little patch between like a residential house, there's a fence, and then the actual front lawn. And I got on top of him and started wailing on him. And then all I remember is being pulled off of him by the resource officer, who was right across the fucking street. Oof! And then getting dragged into the principal's office. And,
wait, so how did he drag you?
He was right there across the street.
How did he drag you?
Well, he pulled me up off of him and said, get up, and I got up, and he just pulled me by the collar, and...
I'm calling you fat.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know.
It doesn't bother you now, does it?
Not really, no. A tiny bit sometimes, but...
Does it bother you coming from me?
No, not really.
Exactly.
Because we're both fat.
Ow!
But,
I deserve that one.
basically, my grandpa was like, you're not supposed to do it on school grounds. You weren't supposed to do it, right the next day. And you weren't supposed to do it in front of the fucking resource officer. And I'm like, I didn't think about that. I just kind of got angry and started chasing after him. But after that...
Is it bad? I was hoping that you would tell me that you would, bowling balled your way into him and knocked him down like a fucking pin.
That would have been funny. But no,
Is it bad? That's what I was hoping you were going to say? Is that fucked up?
A little bit. Tiny bit.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But that's what I was hoping you were going to say.
Yeah. But, I mean, after that, he stopped calling me fatty. He was like, I'm sorry, Nick. I should have listened to you. I didn't think it bothered you that much, and I'm sorry.
The typical political bullshit.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you're sorry. Whatever, dude. Fucking whatever. But I had to make up with him, because if I didn't make up with him, then I probably would have gotten some juvie time. But since since I accepted his apology, he was like, I won't press charges on you, and I just did a little bit of probation.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But still, and that brings me to one of my fucking favorite fucking rants.
Oh, go off.
Rants with Morgan. That should be a fucking segment now.
Sure.
With its own little banner or something.
You know what? Yeah, man. Let's
because
do some text here.
I've noticed that I go on rants a lot in this. Have you?
Yeah. Quite a bit.
Okay. And it's not even it's not even intentional either.
Yeah.
Just stuff that we talk about kicks like a memory off, and then it's like, hey, fuck you, you know.
Yeah.
So, growing up, I moved around a lot. Growing up, I was not liked a lot. Growing up, I got beat up a lot. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, by the age of 10, I had probably gotten in like 1,500 fights.
Oh boy.
And that is not even close to an exaggeration. So, and sadly, that just kind of happens when you move around so much. Thanks a lot, you fucking piece of shit sperm donor. Fucking go die in a hole with your cancer dick or whatever.
Nice.
The problem was, I would never throw the first punch. But I was always the one getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Because the one that started the damn thing was worse off than I was.
Oh.
You know, one punch to the fucking shoulder, and I'm punching this kid in the throat or something, you know.
Yeah.
I did that like once, but that's besides the point. It was one punch to the throat.
Oh.
But still. Like, I remember distinctly, and this is a great fucking example, at my first elementary school ever, I was probably second or third grade at that point. I had gotten in trouble previously for fighting.
Mm-hmm.
For a fight that I did not start, mind you.
I see.
I was off doing my own little thing, being the loner that I was because nobody fucking liked me. And some kids came and picked on me. And I got in trouble for fighting back.
I see.
Which, first, I want to say I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, I want to say that is a fucking bullshit fucking stance.
Yeah.
Like, in the real world, you're allowed to defend yourself.
Yep.
How is it any different on the playground? If anything, you are more likely to get attacked on the playground.
Yeah.
Or in the hallway, or whatever. On the fucking stairs. I got in a fight on the fucking stairs in high school one time.
Really?
Yeah. That was an interesting one.
Yeah, I bet.
I got knocked over the railing. Luckily, it was in a very high fall. I was sore for a few days, but... Anyways, so did you have, like, timeout squares or whatever?
No.
Or was that just a thing at my school?
It definitely wasn't a thing in my school.
Okay, well, growing up, we had these boxes on the sidewalk. I think it was like 10 of them. Mm-hmm. That were drawn in, like, paint or chalk or water resistant, some fucking bullshit, or some other... sperm.
Okay.
And that was the fucking playground guards' favorite fucking punishment. Throw kids in the fucking timeout boxes.
I see.
I had my own timeout box. Like, no one was...
Like, specifically just for you.
Yeah. No
That's
one
funny.
ever fucking got put in the my timeout box. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me was kind of proud of that.
Nice.
But the fact of the matter is, I never once started a fight. Never once.
Yeah.
Even to this day, I can say confidently that I never once started a fucking fight. But I damn near finished all of them.
Nice. That's what I was always told too. Don't start no fights, but if you get in one, finish it.
Yeah. Like, one time, I broke a kid's nose in middle school.
Nice.
And I got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Even though he slammed me into the lockers.
I see.
So, and I wasn't aiming. I just kind of turned around and went, clunk.
Yeah.
And his nose just happened to be there. It's not my fault, you know? Like, I realize that's shitty to say, but it's not my fault. His nose shouldn't have been sitting there.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, one time in particular, I was in my timeout box. And, again, for fighting previously. And I had to spend every recess for like the next 4 days or something like that in the timeout box for fighting. Okay, cool, whatever. Except for they were saying that I was the one that started it.
Oh.
That was always the case because nobody wanted to pick on me one by one or one-on-one. Because they would get their shit rocked. Everybody fucking knew that. So they was always getting up on me. And the problem is, when it's a group versus one, the stories aren't going to really match up. You see what I'm saying? The group is going to outnumber you. So therefore, you get in trouble, and you didn't do anything wrong. To this day, I legitimately do not believe that a single fight that I got in was where I was in the wrong. Not one. And I can say that with a clear fucking conscience, you know.
Yeah.
So anyways, one of the main kids came from the previous fight, came over and started pushing me around in the timeout box. And just picking on me. So I fucking nailed him. Like, what do I do in that point? I can't leave the fucking box.
Yeah.
But he's picking on me, so like, what do I fucking do?
Smack him in together.
I fucking beat his ass into the fucking dirt. Like, I shit you not, he had a face full, like a mouth full of fucking grass. And by the time the fucking teacher or whatever got there, he was like all bloody and just fucking covered in dirt and grass, and the teacher was obviously like, stop, you know. And this part I will say that I shouldn't have done, but I'm proud I did it. Even to this day.
Yeah.
For good measure, as the teacher said stop, I kicked him in the gut. Hard as I fucking could.
Nice.
And then I walked back to my timeout box. And so I got called into the principal's office, and he was like, wait, was it a he? Might have been a she. That's the problem. I moved around so much, I don't fucking remember.
Nice.
Taco shush. So, the principal is like, what the hell was that? Yeah. And I'm like, he bullied me. He was like, okay, so you decided to fucking pulverize his fucking face? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. That was the only time that I technically really started a fight.
Nice.
Was when he came over and antagonized it.
Well, you started the physical confrontation, but he started the whole thing.
Yeah. But I'm always the one that got in trouble for it.
Yeah.
They always, schools, fucking, even the fucking police, always blame the fucking victims.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say, I was, perfect little two shoes. But the fact of the matter is, I was just an easy fucking target because I had no one to hang out with. I was always on my own, doing my thing. I think most of the time I was just fucking drawing in the dirt with sticks. That will give you an idea of how fucking alone I was. So, And here's the fucking infuriating part. The teachers saw this happen. The whole thing start. Mm-hmm. The timeout box. But I still fucking got blamed for it.
I see.
How the fuck does that make any fucking sense?
I don't know.
Like, God. Like, I got suspended like 3 or 4 different times before I was in middle school. And every single fucking time is because I was in a fight.
I see.
It got to the point where I was on a first name basis with most of the fucking office staff.
Nice.
So, that's my fucking rant. Don't fucking blame the fucking victims. Actually investigate the fucking situation. And don't just take the group's word over one, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And more often than not, the kids that are ganging up on the kid...
The one, yeah.
Are the ones that started the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hell, even if someone were to throw the first punch on someone who had been antagonizing them, I still believe that that is completely warranted.
Yeah.
So, my rant is over.
You want to see the front? Put that up.
Oh, that's what you were doing? That's fucking awesome. Dude, that's fucking awesome. But like, it just pisses me off. Because one time I got put in handcuffs, I think it was in middle school? Yeah, it would have been middle school. I got put in handcuffs when I broke that kid's nose.
Oh.
My exact statement to the cop was, his nose shouldn't have been there.
Nice.
And I had to go to court over it too.
Oh.
Do you know what I said to the judge?
What?
His nose shouldn't have been there. So, like, I did not have any fucking grief over it. His nose should not have been there. He shouldn't have done what he did.
Yeah.
So, that's where I'm at with the whole fucking school. And another thing, 99% of what they teach in school, fucking completely useless.
Yeah.
How many of the things you learned in school past probably 4th grade, maybe, have you actually used in your day-to-day adult life?
Maybe about, definitely less than 20% of it.
Exactly.
I think I learned a couple of things in home ec, like maybe 1 or 2 things in a couple of math classes and some history stuff.
Right, but like, that could all be compiled down. The actual need to know shit can be compiled down into a couple of years.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I do use my a bunch of stuff from like language arts and writing, and especially my creative writing class. So let's bump that up to 25%.
Still though, that is a fucking ridiculous fucking low percentage.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if we got like 100 people in the room or in a room, and we were like, "Did you graduate? Yes or no? Did you graduate? Yes, no, blah, blah, blah." They would all more or less say the same fucking shit. And I gotta stop getting so fucking energized and animated because I keep fucking knocking the table.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Which, when we get our mic arms, we can tilt the table kind of diagonally so you can't reach the table as easily and just have the mic just...
Yeah, because I don't even do it on purpose either.
On purpose? On purpose.
I was hoping you didn't notice.
You do not do on purpose.
I do not purpose very well.
Purpose.
Postpone purpose.
Yeah. So...
But it's just infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I changed topics, but It's just infuriating.
No, it's okay. You don't have to stay on topic.
So, yeah. Any other stories from school?
Did I tell the tale of when I got my lip busted open and then my grandpa almost got into a fight with the other kid's dad on the podcast?
Yeah. Probably not.
Okay. So, there's this kid, and we were on the bus going to school in the morning, and he was. I knew who the kid was. We weren't like super good friends or anything
Hang on,
like
before
that.
you get too far in, keep telling your story. I'm gonna run to the bathroom and I'm gonna grab my water.
Okay.
Since I've already heard this story.
Okay. So, the kid was, let's call him
Morgan.
I don't know any other names besides your name and the kid's actual name.
Go ahead and use mine then.
Okay, let's call this kid Morgan 2. So, Morgan number 2. Let's do that. Morgan number 2 was on the bus with us, me and a couple of my friends. My friend group consisted of maybe 6 people, including me, and there was like 2 of my friends there. And Morgan number 2 was giving everybody titty twisters, and I'm like, hey, knock that off. And I was like, what are you gonna do? And then he gave me a titty twister, and I'm like, knock your shit off right now. And he's like, what are you gonna do? And then he gave me another titty twister, and before he could even like unlatch my nipples, it was kind of my fault that this happened in the first place, because one, I threw the first punch, but he was, technically by the letter of the law, physically assaulting me and my friends. But my issue here was I didn't hit him hard enough.
Hang on. Sorry to interrupt, but apparently I also gotta let the dogs out.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
I mean, this story is
also
a little long. Morgan,
Michael, Miguel.
I'm just gonna go stick with Morgan number 2.
Okay.
So, I proceed to hit Morgan number 2 in the face. But
Ow!
But I did not hit him hard enough, apparently. Because he just looked at me, blinked, and then knocked my shit out. Like, literally, I remember him reeling back to hit me. I remember, like, lifting my arms up to try and block it. But the next thing that I remember was just bending over a pool of my own blood on this bus. And one of my friends had stuck with me, I guess, and he was like, hey man, are you okay? And I'm like, I think so. And he's like, man, your lip's really fucked up. And I'm like, and I like touched, and you can still see to this day that I have a little bit of an indent on my left side of my lip, top lip, where he busted it open. And he's like, hey, I'm sure the principal wants to talk to you, because the bus driver already like called in what happened to the principal or whatever, I guess. And so I'm like, all right, cool. And so I guess I had been there for a while, because by the time I got into the principal's office, Morgan number 2's dad or grandpa or uncle or something like that was already there. And they had already called my mom. And I guess she had told him, like, well, his dad's not around. And I think that was about the time that she had her, cysts on her ovaries. So I think this was about the time that she had them removed, so she couldn't come. And so my grandpa came, which, again, super cool dude. But, again, he's not very, but he's short in stature. And at the time, he was probably like in his early 60s. And he walks in, and immediately, without the principal saying anything, without me saying anything, without anything happening, first thing that happens was Morgan number 2's dad or whatever was like, what are you gonna do about this? Your son is a piece of shit or whatever, and he hit my son first, and what are you gonna do about it? And you're gonna sue you for damages or whatever. And my grandpa just hey, and he holds up his hand very calmly. He says, hey. We can either go outside and settle this like men, or we can sit down and settle this like gentlemen. That's up to you. And he was just so... When my grandfather is angry, he's not the, oh, goddamn you, whatever. No, he sits there and he stews and he simmers until his top blows off. Which I've never seen his top blow off, but I have seen him sit there and stew and simmer. And I think that is the worst kind of angry, because you don't know what the fuck he's going to do. And he's really calm and quiet. And he sits there and he's like, we can either go outside and settle this like men, or we can sit down and settle this like gentlemen. And just the look in his eye, I only saw the side of his face, but the look in his eye was like, I will fuck you up, dude. And so the other kid's dad was like, okay, we can settle this like gentlemen. And he sits down and he's like, that's what I thought.
I fucking love your grandpa. Oh, I'm back, by the way.
Yeah, you're back.
I didn't want to interrupt again.
No, you're good.
I also have Swinkies.
Oh, okay.
But I have the num-nums.
Yeah. But that just goes to show...
don't fuck with your grandpa.
Yeah, one, don't fuck with my grandpa. Two, my dad was never around when we needed him. I don't think I told you this part, but the reason why my mom didn't show up was because I think that was about the time that she had her surgery on her ovaries. She had a couple of cysts, and she had them removed, and I think that's why she couldn't show up. But, I mean, put a bunch of reasons on the dartboard and throw a dart, and that's probably why my dad wasn't there. I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care, but...
I've never heard that.
I just came up with that. But
well, I like it.
But yeah, that's why my grandpa showed up instead of my dad. But yeah, it was just the look, like the other kid's dad. He didn't look afraid. He didn't look scared at all.
He should have been. Probably,
but he just looked like, oh, okay, so you're serious, okay. Like he probably didn't think, oh, this little Mexican dude, whatever, he ain't about that shit. No, he recognized that my grandpa was absolutely serious. He probably wasn't afraid, but he realized, like, okay, this dude is willing to scrap with me, so I better calm my shit down.
And wasn't the dude like 2 times your grandfather's height? Something like that?
He was maybe 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet taller than my grandpa, yeah. But he just looked at him, and he held up his hand. He didn't like poke at his chest or anything like that, but he just held up his hand. And he's like, we can go outside and settle this like gentlemen, or
no, men.
Down. Well, like men, yes, we can go outside and handle this like men, or if we can sit down and we can handle this like gentlemen. And he just took a second. He blinked a couple of times and probably realized, oh, this motherfucker's not lying. Okay, yeah, no, I'll sit down. That's fine.
But then the cops would have gotten called.
Yeah.
Would have been a whole ordeal.
Yeah, and they were going to suspend me, but my grandpa's like, you could suspend him because he threw the first punch. Or you could suspend the other kid because he was giving everybody on that bus purple nurples or whatever. Titty twisters, you know.
Uh-huh.
And he's the one that started the whole altercation. He's the one that started physical. Even though he didn't hit anybody, he started the physical altercation. And they're like, okay, yeah, let's do that. So they suspended the kid that started it for like 2 or 3 days, and then they only gave me like pass room or something like that. Which pass room is you just sit in one chair, in one desk, in a little tiny cubby, away from anybody else. You're just in a little hidey hole doing your homework for the whole day.
And that's how introverts are born.
Yeah. I say that wavering in my voice because I got past room quite a few times. Not just high school, in middle school too. I think in total I probably got past room maybe a grand total of 5 times. 5 or 6 times. I hardly ever got detention because I was like, I would rather just do pass room. Fuck detention. And they gave me that option. So
For real.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got maced?
Maced?
On a school bus.
Oh.
Of all places.
No.
So, I want to start by saying it technically wasn't mace, pepper spray, as other parts of the world would call it. But that's essentially how it was used. Did I ever tell you this story?
I don't think so.
So it was Axe body spray.
Oh. Okay, I think so, maybe.
Actually, I don't think I have.
That sounds familiar. But go on.
So, this one kid, this was in middle school. I was living in St. George, Utah at the time. And this Mexican kid pulled out a can of Axe body spray. And he sprayed it over everyone's head. Right. But me being autistic, not expecting the strong scent and the moisture and everything, and already being a little teed up because of all the fucking noise and movement of the fucking bus.
I have an Axe body spray story too. But go on.
I jumped up and I turned around and jumped up. Whatever. Like, obviously I was facing him at this point. And I was like, don't fucking do that, I didn't say fucking because I was a good Mormon little child. I hate myself for that, but...
Yeah.
And he was like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to beat your face off.
Beat your face off.
It sounded good to fucking 13-year-old me,
Yeah.
And I don't think the kid realized how fucking funny it sounded. Because he literally just raises his arm and just sprays it in my fucking face.
Nice.
And this kid, along with a huge group of other Mexicans, got off at the same bus stop I did.
Oh.
So, at that point, I go to fucking wail on him. And I can't fucking see shit.
Nice.
No, not nice.
I mean, not nice, but you know what I mean.
And...
sarcastically nice.
Like, obviously it's not like the crust that, like, pepper spray does.
Yeah. But it's still alcohol and...
it fucking burns.
Yeah.
Like, to this day, I have never felt something more excruciating. And I have stepped on a rusty nail and had to go through my shoe into my foot.
I see.
I have stabbed myself accidentally. And neither of those hurt as bad as being fucking maced with Axe body spray. It was the fucking cans! Not the fucking... what else did they make?
Like deodorant sticks?
Yeah, deodorant, soap.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think.
It
was the little tin cans with the little spray top.
Yeah, and the twistable.
Yeah.
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 I use those a lot.
He fucking sprayed it, and I went to swing, and he had moved, and so I went over the seat.
Oh.
Over the back of my seat into where he should have been. And everybody fucking laughed. I know that because I couldn't see.
But you could hear it.
I could hear it. Oh, dude, I was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, I wasn't gonna fucking tell. I wanted my revenge. So, we got off the bus, and they're taunting me, right? And at that point, I could probably see a little bit, like little slits. But enough. So, I'm like, hey, come here, We're going to settle this like men. We weren't men. But I shoved him one into the road. I decked another one, and then the third one grabbed a stick, like a fucking huge ass fucking like tree branch.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, not huge, but like it's a good sized fucking branch.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts waving it around like it's a fucking lightsaber or some shit. Mm-hmm. And it's not. It's a fucking branch.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot stress this enough. It's like a good sized fucking branch. So he goes to swing it at me. I grab it, I rip it out of his hands, and I beat him over the head with it. And then I throw it to the side and walk off. Like the badass that I am.
Okay.
Okay, it wasn't that cut and dry. I got a few... Having fun there?
Yeah.
I got a few, cuts and scrapes and stuff like that, but nothing compared to what they got. Mm-hmm. Like, I may not be good at a lot of things. Sadly, fighting is not one of them.
I see.
Oh, and keep in mind, I did that with just the slits of vision.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck do you manage that?
Intuition. I don't know.
So, dude, I could have been like the fucking 13-year-old version of John Wick.
Nice.
John Prick.
John Prick. Nice.
Instead of using the pencils, I could use, I don't know, markers.
Yeah.
Just... I've never seen John Wick.
You haven't?
No.
The first one was really good.
I've heard that.
The second one's okay. I still haven't been able to... I've tried watching the third one twice, and I haven't been able to finish it.
Why?
It's just not good.
Is it Keanu or...
Yeah, it's still Keanu.
No, is it Keanu that you can't watch?
No, I absolutely love Keanu Reeves. I adore that man.
He does a lot of fucking charity work.
Yeah. It's
Did you...
just the fact that, every single movie you have to up the ante and things get more dangerous and more ridiculous and more...
They don't do that.
They absolutely do. I've seen at least parts of all three of them. Or four? Is there four now?
Yeah, there's four now, I think.
Yeah, I think there's four now. The first one was great because it was, just an assassin going after the people who killed his dog. And the second one was good.
Wait, that's where that saying comes from?
Yes, literally, the plot goes, here is former assassin man, and his wife dies of cancer, and
all he has is his dog.
The last thing that he has of his wife is this dog. The wife got the dog. He didn't want the dog, but now that his wife's gone, he likes the dog. And he goes out of town, and these young, hotshot assassins are like, oh, we want to make a name for ourselves. What do we do? Oh, we could take down this gigantic bank. Oh, we could do this. Oh, we could do that. And then they're like, oh, wait. What we could do is kill John Wick. We could definitely do that because he's like the biggest assassin to ever assassinate assassins. So let's go kill that guy, and we'll be known as the people who took down the Baba Yaga, which is like a Russian folklore monster person. So they go there, and they're like, oh, he's not here. What do we do? And it's like, just torch the place. And they torch the entire place, and they chain up his dog to like the kitchen table or whatever, and just torch his house. And I think that was it, or was that the second one? Either way, they fuck his shit up real bad. And when he gets home, everything's all astrew and fucked up, and his dog's burnt to ash, basically. And
were these assassins Chinese by chance?
No, actually, they were Italian.
Close enough.
And it's actually kind of funny because
it would have been real funny if they were fucking Chinese or Japanese or
I get it.
Vietnamese or dirty knees,
Dirty knees. Because they kill and eat animals like that. But no, it's kind of funny because when they get back, the leader of these young hotshot assassins, his father is like head of, or like one of the capos of the Italian mob, like a high up-ranking officer or whatever. And he's like, good job, son. Congratulations. But you didn't tell me. Who are you gonna go after? Was it just a hit? Did you pick up a hit from the hotel? Because the hotel's like the code name for the hub for all the assassins. It's like who'd you go kill? Like, actually, our target wasn't there, so we just burnt down his house, and we're gonna go after him again later. And it's like, oh well, who was it? And it's like, oh yeah, we went after John Wick, and he goes, well, fucking excuse the fuck out of goddamn me. What the fuck did you just say, motherfucker? He's like, John Wick, and he's like, get the fuck out of my house right now. It's like, what do you mean? You have a target on your back, and if you're here, he's gonna fuck up everybody that you have contact with. I don't want to see your goddamn face ever again. You are my blood, and I love you, but you fucked up. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, it's not that bad, is it? And he's like, you don't fucking understand. You don't get it. He's not just a legend. He earned that name, Baba Yaga. You don't fucking get it. And then the movie is him getting back at the people who killed his dog. So yeah.
Why'd you do it? They killed my dog. And I'm like,
well, it's not really just the dog. It's the memory of his wife, the only living thing that you have left.
Regardless, I could totally fucking relate.
Yeah.
If someone killed either of my dogs, I'd be out for blood.
Yeah.
Like, for example, that cop in Hayburn that shot the dogs. If those had been my dogs, that cop would be having some serious medical issues. As in
Minecraft.
As in not being alive.
In Minecraft.
Issues.
Yes.
That's like the worst medical issue of them all.
Not being living issues, yeah.
Not being alive, yeah.
Well, we're officially at minute 40, so
a minute 40?
Or an hour 40.
Man, that was a long fucking minute.
An hour 40. Yeah, so thank you once again to everybody for coming out and listening to us jibber jabber and comment on different things. And I did want to also mention that the movies that we have right now for commentary that we're going to do in the future. Right now we have a very short list. We have 2 for me and 1 for Morgan because the A team was Morgan's. Morgan.
But I would like to, if it's okay, and sorry to cut you off, but I would like to add the John Wicks to that list.
I'm willing to watch the first 2 with you. Maybe the third one, depending. If we don't have anything else to watch.
Worst case scenario, I watch the third one myself and do a solo fucking commentary.
I mean, okay, if it's with you, I'm sure I'll be able to stay awake or stay focused.
Honestly, nothing in our fucking Patreon or YouTube says anything about us staying awake or being focused. Half our fucking channel is random fucking bullshit.
Well, that's the fun of it. If we're gonna have commentary on a movie, we have to at least focus enough to be on topic of the movie.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's throwing pencils. That can't really happen. Probably. Oh, we should make a pencil gun.
Okay.
A gun that shoots pencils, like sharpened pencils, and it has the ability to impale people.
Do we actually have a marker in here? I thought I had one in here. Anyway, okay, so we'll have John Wick 1 through 3 at the very least, maybe 4 for later. But we also have Hitman Agent 47. Not the first. I'm pretty sure there's 2 Hitman movies. This would be the second one.
Isn't the Hitman movie the basis for the games, or is it the other way around, or are they totally...
No, the games definitely came out first. The first game came out in the late 90s on PS2. And then the movie, I'm pretty sure, came out in the late 2000s.
Okay, but are they related? Movie, are they the same world?
I don't think they're the same continuity, but it's based on the same characters. I would have to look that up. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yes, Hitman Agent 47, I think that came out in like 2012, 2013, something like that. And then The Dark Knight, which came out in 2008-ish, 2010-ish maybe. No, I think that Dark Knight Rises came out in 2011. So yeah, 2008 maybe. And then The Punisher from '89, which has Dolph Lundgren. Dolph Ziggler is the wrestler. Dolph Lundgren is the big, scary, muscly Russian man.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I don't recognize either of those people.
Oh. Well, I'm sure people listening might. So, yeah, the reason why I want to watch The Dark Knight is because it's like, in my eyes, besides Avengers Infinity War, which I'm not going to make Morgan sit there and watch the essential movies in order to understand that movie.
But The Dark Knight might be my...
There's very little explaining to do with The Dark Knight.
It might be my entry into the cape shit world.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not gonna fucking dive head in. You know,
I understand.
All about it. You know, buying fucking super figures, action figures. That's what they're called.
Figures, yes.
Super figures. I'm not gonna buy all the fucking movies.
Well,
I'm not gonna buy like the fucking posters. Hell, I'm probably not gonna watch the majority of the fucking cape shit movies because it's.
Well, yeah, I understand that. It's
just not my thing. But if I can add a new interest into my life,
yeah,
then I'm all fucking for it. But I'm gonna tell you, I probably maybe won't like it.
I mean, there's a different possibility, but in my mind, my top two, at least, comic book movies are number one, Infinity War, and two, The Dark Knight.
Didn't the whole world die in an Infinity War?
Half. Literally 50% of everything in all of existence, yes.
I only know that because of the meme Thanos snap.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Thanos, whatever.
No, is it the snap?
Yeah, the snap, yeah.
Okay.
And then I want to watch The Punisher for the Patreon because it's just really super goofy, campy, late 80s action schlock. And it's just, there's a couple of moments where you're like, what the fuck does that even mean? And some moments where you're just laughing about how ridiculous it is.
Moving on from the movie genre, plan content.
Yes.
Hopefully we can start doing some gaming.
Yes.
That is going to take some figuring out. You said you had a capture card that doesn't work properly, right?
Yeah, but for now...
We could try just reverse HDMI.
No. For now, we can stream directly off of my PS5. Because there's already internal mechanisms to let you record to Twitch. Live stream to Twitch, I mean.
I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, so...
And when we're done, I would actually like to test that out real quick.
Test what out?
The HDMI.
What about the HDMI?
Console.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And then if we really want to, we could get another HDMI cord probably.
Well, the thing is I think that this is only out. I don't think it does in. Which is why... Well, yeah, we can try it, but I think that's why we need a capture card.
That's why I'm just saying it. I want to try it.
Yeah.
Just to really understand our capability and function abilities.
Yeah.
So anyways, you said you had a capture card that just doesn't work properly, right?
It works most of the time. Like 10% of the time there'll be like fuzzy borders, like a old boob tube TV screen. Like just the borders will be kind of white staticky. But sometimes it just desaturates the shit out of the picture and it looks like you're looking at like a mostly brown screen. That happens like maybe 50% of the time.
That sounds like it would honestly be something like a invert issue.
I don't know. But I think it would be really cool to...
But if you wanted me to take a look at that, I could.
Yeah, sure. I think it would be really cool to do like a live stream on Twitch. At least to just try it out. We can do a couple of episodes of streaming something.
Did you know that we could actually live stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time?
I mean, probably not on my computer.
Doesn't matter about the device.
Oh. Are you talking about like Restream?
The software we use right now, Streamlabs, you know, what we are using to record right now, has the ability to stream or multi-stream.
Oh!
If you want to set that up, we
can definitely talk about that, yeah. But what I want to do is do
it's for ads.
live streams on Twitch. Try that out first. Well, okay.
Did we decide on couch potatoes?
We haven't decided on that yet, but
you liked that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, I want to try live streaming on Twitch. Directly through the PS5. That will be our first venture. Then after that, if we get the capture card business set up, then we can worry about maybe doing some retro, like the 360 is retro now. God damn.
God damn, we're fucking old.
Doing some 360 or even PS2 games.
I remember when the 360 came out.
Yeah?
Yeah. God damn, I feel old.
Yeah. But if we do decide to do whatever streaming on YouTube, we'll probably just do it directly on the podcast channel and just have its own little playlist for those videos.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And like, I don't know, once every couple weeks or whatever we feel, honestly.
It'll probably... What we'll do if we do want to do that is probably cut the podcast episodes that we do not uploading once a month or once a week, because we do have a few backups, at least a week and a half worth of backups, but cut down our recording sessions to once a week and then doing the game streaming.
Yeah, alternate. Yeah, I was going to suggest the same thing, actually. So, glad we're on the same page on that.
Yeah, so...
Because the way I see it, it's a good idea to alternate content.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and because I'm only able to hang out with Morgan 3 times a week, usually. So I don't want to be like, oh, let's record one day, and then record second day, and then do... the gaming stream on the third day. I would like a 1 day period where you just relax.
Yeah, because
hang out by ourselves.
While we love what we do, it can be exhausting.
Oh yeah, because you can't just have the same demeanor that you have walking around every day, going to the supermarket or whatever, and use that type of energy with podcasts. You have to be at least a little bit animated and force yourself to be a little bit, outside of your comfort zone.
Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be going to the supermarket.
Wow, that peaked. Hey, you know what we could do? It's just... Hey everybody, we're going to be starting an ASMR channel, and I'm going to be snooping your little hairs on top of your head.
No, the fuck we're not.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have to do that, but...
ASMR wears the fuck out of me, and I don't know why.
It weirds the fuck out of a lot of people. My wife doesn't understand it either, but it helps me fall asleep. But yeah, that's basically our little housekeeping segment. Do you have anything else to talk about?
New studio, new prospects for content, and same bullshittery.
Yeah. Actually, I think I was kind of worried about headset-wise. If we could find like a, what do they call it? The microphone plug-in splitter. But I think
a mixer.
No, just a splitter. Like the one goes in and then it has 2 outs, or 2 ins and then 1 out. So you can plug in 2 headsets. But I think we can just plug in one of these microphones into the PS5. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
It took me, you didn't specify the fucking PS5 thing, and I was so lost on what you were talking about until then.
Yeah.
So I was just like, huh?
Yeah.
Why do we need that?
But yeah, thank you.
Actually, the way I see it, the USB bank we're using right now, theoretically we could just plug that into the PlayStation and.
Right, but I don't know if it actually supports a USB audio. Of course, it supports the little gold doohickey plug-in, of course. But
The aux,
yes, the
Yeah.
aux cord. I know, of course, obviously it does support that, but I don't know if it supports USB audio.
It
We're
should.
almost at 2 hours.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
It should support USB.
We'll figure it out.
We're gonna have to experiment with things either way. To really just kind of get things the way we want.
Yeah.
But once we do, we're gonna be the king of Twitch,
Gaming.
the king of YouTube,
Gaming.
podcasting.
Sure. Anyway, thank you one and
if
all
only I
for joining
believed
us
that.
one more time. Join us next time where we fiddle Morgan